Hey, good morning, everyone. Welcome to Mornings with the Focus. No NBA games last night. It's the day in between conference finals. We had a really good talk yesterday morning with both Cardell and Raymond uh, joining me. If you guys want a chance to go back and check that out, same way you're watching this is on those YouTube pages. It is available. Um, you know, Other things we got coming this week, regularly, weekly, Focus TV installment will be recorded tonight. It'll be out tomorrow on our Roku channels and then on Friday night on DCTV. So it's regular things. We got Mystics Outlook later this evening as well. They had a home and home pretty much with the Dallas Wings. They played at the ESA here in DC on this past weekend, because I'm gonna tell you the wrong day. This past weekend, and then tonight they're playing in Dallas. Last go around, Dallas handed Washington their first loss of the year, so Washington will be looking for a little bit of revenge. That said, what we have to discuss today, let me get this together for you guys real quick because I thought I had it. I did not. So y'all have to hear the loud keys for the moment, but here you go. Put that. Jaire Alexander got paid. It's one of the things where this offseason's been we've only been hearing about one position for the most part. Everyone's been up in arms about what wide receivers getting paid and, when they're getting paid, etc. And, while people have been focused on the wide receivers, the folks responsible for guarding those players, several of them, two of them have already got broke off. They were both heading in. They were both about to play on their fifth-year options of their rookie deals, and their teams re-upped quickly because they like what they saw already. And, there's no reason to wait. First, it was Denzel Ward of the Browns, who signed a 5-year, $100.5 million deal. It came out to about 20.1 per. The 20.1, that 0.1, what made it 0.1 higher than what Jalen Ramsey gets paid, which made Denzel Ward at that time the highest paid corner in the league upon signing that deal. As far as guaranteed money go, Denzel Ward did very well for himself. 71.25 guaranteed. Yesterday, Packers CB1, Jaire Alexander, signed a 4-year, $84 million deal with a $30 million as a signing bonus, up to $45 million guaranteed by 2023. His new deal averages out to $21 million a year. Again, do you guys see the trend of the pettiness here? 0.1 more than exactly $1 million more than what was the highest guy at the time. But essentially, if you break down Jaire's deal, it's essentially 3 years, 61 mil, which again, still isn't bad at all. So I want to get your thoughts on that, Justin, and then gonna just have a little discussion. Just talk about we don't necessarily have to rank the corners, but just put them in tiers. Because I think some people have after a good year here and there, the peer groups are interesting where people have put certain people. And, and some people who have been very, very stout and consistent, just kind of flying under the radar by the wayside. So first, your thoughts on Jaire Alexander getting paid after Denzel Ward?
I think a guy like Jaire Alexander, like that, Packers had a really good season last year without him, but having a guy that can actually take away a number one receiver or actually sort of have a competition, like make that guy work for every catch, like a guy like J.C. Jackson or Jaire Alexander. Like Jaire Alexander's in that group. He's competitive. He fights. He's he takes that defense to another level. And there's not too many guys like that who can match up with the bigger guys and the smaller guys. He's not the biggest guy, but he has footwork, technique. He fights. And he's just a really good corner, man. I think he deserves that money. And again, having that number one corner with the way the league trending with receivers, having a guy you can put out there, whether it's completely eliminating a number two, and being able to put your number two on their number one and provide all the help over there, or being able to, go against certain number ones and really limit them. I think that's huge. And also he has the ability, he can take the ball away also. So he's a cover guy that can really shut guys down, but can also make plays on the ball also. So, he's just one of the better corners in the league. He's underrated because, again, when you have other places to throw the ball, why throw there? But he's shown himself. What was the playoff game? He was what team were they? I forgot who they were playing a couple of years ago. He shut down someone, and it was Tampa. Tampa when Mike Evans had a couple of big plays, and they put him on him, and that was it. I think that's what you ask for. That's what you're paying these guys for. And again, in some ways, they're even more important than the number one receiver because receivers you can find later. There's not too many legit shutdown corner. There's just not. It's maybe five. And even them, you'll see them get torched occasionally. You know what I mean? You had a day where Jamar Chase destroyed Marlon Humphrey. You had days where, like, the guys that can really do it, you've seen Ramsey struggle. But, like, it's the ability, it's the mindset. They just keep coming back. And he definitely has that.
No, I agree wholeheartedly. Like, I'm not mad at it at all. Like, it was a no-brainer, right? I don't care what else you had going on that side of the ball. What you couldn't afford to lose is if you're fortunate enough to get one of those guys, you keep them. If we'll get to the tier thing in a little bit, but I think if you're one of those guys within the first two tiers, you pay them, you don't ask any questions. If you're outside the first two tiers, you do what you got to do because after that, it doesn't really matter that much. Then it might be about scheme, and if you got a premier safety, then I don't need somebody in the top two tiers, right? It's a little bit different. But if you got one of these guys, then maybe you don't have to have a premier center fielder. There's some things you can do to, but again, like it's one of those things where if you have one of those guys, it helps you dictate terms on that side of the ball in what is clearly a passing league, and you need one of those guys. However they may do it. I know we talk around draft times. There's different ways people win at every position, and I think that's the thing is there used to be like an ideal. And it wasn't ever like a carbon copy ideal, but like an ideal per se metric for or idea a prototype what a lockdown corner is. Dude, you get it done however you get it done. For me, if it's scheme dependent, so what? It's his scheme. Don't take him out of it. I don't care. When people talk about the things with Sherm, well, you can't do this. Last time I checked, if he's on your team, it behooves you to play in it to his strengths, right? Who cares? I know you're not willingly throwing over there, so we don't need to talk about the ifs, ands, maybes, and hypotheticals and everything else in that scheme. And again, you talk about Jaire. I think Jaire and Denzel Ward don't get the credit they deserve because I don't think they don't usually have the opportunity to put up 7, 8 INT type years. People just don't mess with them that much because, like you said, why would I? How about whatever happens on that side, that's cool. I'm going to attack not you, the second not you, and possibly the third not you. Right. Now, if I got a guy that can go at you,
inside also. Yep. The thing that he can move inside and outside is what separates him. Him and Ward. There's a lot of times you look at those type of guys and you think you got to put them inside, but the fact that they can win outside and then walk inside, so where teams can't hide their receivers from you. I mean, if Cup's giving you a hard time, you can move Jaire on him. A lot of these other guys, you can't do that. Or there was a time when like guys like Antonio Brown were the top receivers, and you wouldn't imagine putting your bigger corners on them. But like guys like this, they can go and they can match up with all these guys, and that increases his value, and that makes him worth the money. And like we talked about the flexibility on your defense. I mean, we talk about Packers losing Adams, but this is not having him last year is something that's not mentioned. They added some people. We'll get to another day, but the players they added on defense, he's the one that we never talk about. They had guys play somewhat well, but this is adding an elite player to your defense, which changes everything. It allows them to get more pressure, allows them to cover, makes their number 2 corner better, makes their number 3 corner better, makes their linebackers better. So just I think that's where that value comes, and maybe that's part of the reason Adams isn't there. I mean, along with Adams not one, but they could really be a better team, or overall better.
All right, Sid, appreciate you this morning joining the conversation, man. You already know there's not a limit on the comments so far away. Said all the top tier corners are willing tacklers: Ward, Jaire, Ramsey, Lattimore, etc. Yeah, you got to be. You have to be. Think about all the different ways offenses find scheme. Find a way within their scheme to get their guys the ball. Like how many people be like, hey, just go line up against Jalen and just, it is what it is. You're not about to do that 5, 6, 7 times a game. You're going to find different ways to have Jalen run through traffic or just not line up on Jalen.
Right.
Put Jalen in conflict, give him several things to look at. And that goes for most of these top dudes, man. But if you have nothing else here, we could jump into that that other conversation, which could be fun. So I'm gonna ask you where you want to start at, like where tier one could be. Like, hold on, let me give me 1 second. I'm gonna open like little notes app real quick and get the listing. Hold on real quick. Oh, you can start though. I'm just opening up a new notes real quick.
Okay, off the top, obviously you gotta go Ramsey. In no order.
I apologize in advance for the loud typing. You guys will be all right though. Keyboard's loud. All right, go ahead. You said Jalen.
Gotta go Jalen. J.C. Jackson. Lattimore.
Okay, hold on real quick. You are firing these things off. Okay. Someone is ready.
It's gonna slow down. It's gonna slow down a second.
All right, so I think you guys can see some of that, right? And now y'all can see some of my notes. Y'all be okay. What am I trying to do? All right. So go ahead. You said Jalen. But you said Jalen who? I think you said Lattimore. Oh, you said JC. Okay. Okay.
AJ Terrell. AJ Terrell.
Sid got time this morning. Okay.
AJ
Terrell. Man.
Yeah, I don't. We got Jaire.
Okay.
Would you put Humphrey in there?
I probably have Humph in tier 2.
Okay. You know who I missed? Xavier Howard.
All right. Okay. That's your first group right there?
I think so. Where's Slay go?
Hey, look, man, I'm just here.
Here you go. We'll put Slay in 2, I think. I like Slay because he's one of them guys that like.
You want to put Slay in 2? Okay.
He don't always win, but he always takes the guy. You know what I
mean? Where you want? Did you have Denzel in here, or did you have Denzel in?
You could put Denzel in 1.
Okay. Let me put it like this. Okay.
Let's see. I think for now I'll stop there. I think.
Okay. I think that's where you're at right now. Okay. I like it.
Yeah. Let's see. So tier 2, we got. We go. Would you put? Where's Byron Jones go? He's not in tier 2. I mean, he's not in tier 1. He's in tier 2 or 3.
I think you could do Byron in tier 2. I think that's safe. Or you wanted him to go in tier 3?
I don't know. You know what's funny is like a guy like him is you think a guy's a tier 1 until you put him next to a tier 1, and then you see teams go at him. Like playing next to Howard, he gets attacked a little more.
But that's okay. So this is my question to you: if Howard's not there and Jones is the one, are they still throwing at Jones that much, or are you throwing at not Jones?
You're throwing at not Jones, definitely. Because I mean, Jones had a good year with Dallas, but the thing of Jones is I don't know if it's a plus or minus. And we'll probably get to it with other guys. Is when you don't take the ball away, there's less of a threat. Like he might even be he's a better athlete than Howard. But the thing is, with Howard, you test Howard, he's gonna catch it.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas Byron, worst case, you get incompletion, or best case offensively, you get incompletion. or worst case, I guess would be the proper term. Whereas Howard might not be as physical and as the type of as good an athlete as Jones, but Jones ain't catching the ball. Jones will get interceptions. So worst case, you just live to fight another down.
Okay.
Whereas Howard now playing defense. So let me see a list or something. Let me think. No 49.
Sorry, here we go. If T. Diggs gives up, I know it's coming. If T. Diggs gives up 1,500 yards but 0 TDs, Miss Jersey and Wilson. Jesse can't answer because he hates all Cowboys.
Won't argue that.
All right, so for me, I'd put him in tier 2. I know he's boom or bust, but what I'm not going to do, no matter if I'm not a fan of how he plays when he doesn't take it away, because I know he does give up stuff. He takes the ball away at such an alarming freaking rate. And he has exceptional hands for his position. I'm going to put him in tier 2. Like I can't knock him lower for the other stuff because he takes the freaking ball away. I just can't. Some of the other stuff he does it's maddening. However, if you're going to frustrate me to that point,
you better catch the ball.
You better catch the ball. And all I can say, for the most part with him, if he gets a hand on it, we going the other way. So.
Would you say that interceptions are like cyclical? Like besides the guys like J.C. Jackson and Howard, who've proven that they're going to catch the ball every year, right?
Okay,
like,
so
would you second year to say that?
Here's something that's kind of controversial, right? Okay, and I'm not trying to be mean or whatever, right? What's the big difference between JC and Trayvon outside of JC being a little bit more disciplined?
JC's done it for a few years.
No. I get that. No, that's what I'm saying. That's my point. That's the difference. Is JC's had multiple years of it, so we're kind of okay with it, right? But I'm saying like just starting initially. JC was undrafted, what have you, but athletic profile, all that good stuff. If you take away the picks and just how they play as a whole, what's the big difference?
JC's a better player.
No. I'm agreeing. I'm just saying like their style of play. Like I think if JC's not taking the ball away, right? Do you feel like he's Xavier Howard type from a coverage standpoint? You understand what I'm saying?
I see what you're saying.
But obviously right now, like right now for sure, JC's a far better player than Trayvon. I'm just saying, like Trayvon going forward, if we go, if it's another 2 years of this where I take the ball away and maybe my technique's a little bit better where the other side's not as bad, right?
I think the guy you're hoping that he becomes is a Peters type, where it's high risk, high reward. Because I think JC makes plays, but JC covers. Like JC's covering guys. Like when you put him on Stephon Diggs and guys like that, and he doesn't always win.
Yeah.
But the fact of they actually have him covering. Dallas asked Diggs to do things that he shouldn't be doing. That's where he's getting exposed. It's not like I said, if you put Diggs in a
okay, so
Seattle,
if Diggs is in a scheme that plays more to his strengths, right? Which I think we all agree that currently
they treat him like he's Ramsey or like he's these other guys.
Yeah, which he's not, and that's what I'm saying. So if it's similar to JC where he's playing to his strengths, I'm just saying obviously JC is better. I do think JC is better in coverage. I'm just saying that from a taking the ball standpoint, I also don't think JC is better than Diggs in coverage. I also think JC is as good in coverage as some of the other dudes in tier 1. I think what makes up for it is that the boy takes the ball away.
Right, I guess.
So, you know what I'm saying?
I mean, we're talking a top 5 to 7 corner versus a top 15 corner.
Right. And I'm saying the reason that the gap is because dude's not where JC is when he doesn't catch the ball.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like to me, that's the difference. Dude might even have a better set of hands than JC, which I probably honestly, truly believe in my heart of hearts. Trayvon has the best set of hands because that's a wide receiver playing DB. It's a great set of hands. And I think that's some of the reason why some of the other stuff, it'll probably take a little while if he gets it. And like you said, to your point, Dallas is doing him no favors, just throwing him out there like, you're on an island, do you?
Well, the best thing that could happen for him, I have to be honest with you, and we'll see, is that if Kelvin Joseph becomes a real corner,
yep,
you know, because they don't trust the other guys, and so they in their mind they had to use Diggs as that weapon, you know, and Dallas defense was based off of a couple guys, and teams looked at him as, you know, when you put that guy on that island, you become the target, especially when he's jumping routes, you know, and he's playing so aggressively. You become your target. He became a target, and he won some, he lost some. You know, and I think you got to give him his credit because you don't just get 10 interceptions from being terrible. So I'm not going to say that. And I think a lot of us, like me myself, like saw potential in him in Alabama, saw a lot of potential. And I think the jump and, you know, just being on Dallas, you know, if he did this in Jacksonville or did this in anywhere, we would just be like, man, he really shot up the charts this year. I can't wait to see next year. But Dallas takes this thing where, you know, like you said, we see charts where it's him versus Jalen and him versus, you know, and it's just like, these are different. Like you said, he's still a transition going on. The same thing, if you think about it, Xavier Howard, when he came out, he was a receiver becoming a corner, you know, and he still had room to improve. So the process took a little bit longer, or just being in Miami, you didn't see his name. Like, oh, this guy's making plays, cool. Then you saw him another year making plays. And then he started putting it all together. And you want to say, hopefully, another year at camp, you see Diggs just keep improving. You know, and I think that'll be just the Dallas thing is always going to make things, you know, where you have to, they overhype them and you have to bring them back to try to find regular.
Right. No. I agree with you wholeheartedly. There's a lot of stuff thrown onto it, which makes it where it's like, come on, y'all. Chill out. Come on, y'all. And I think this is what, and said this is where I'm at with it. That's why I do think JC is far better, is when they don't get the big play, did you get a stop? And Diggs has to get there, right? And that's all I'm saying. From a talent standpoint, like, and I was down on him this year with Diggs because it was just, and not even down, it's frustrating because can you find a gray area or close the gap? And that's the thing. J.C. Jackson's closed the gap. If I don't make the big play or whatever, I didn't give up the big play. With Trayvon, it's a big play no matter what. It's just, did I do it or did they do it? And and again, I've come to the place now where I'm kind of like trying to be a little bit more patient with him because he didn't get that full transition because at Bama, he didn't play that position the entire time he was at Bama. So I think he's even a little bit behind Xavier Howard, who made the switch. And then, you know, again, you know, he is where he is. And, Justin, to tell you, they ain't doing no favors. All right, so Trayvon in tier 2. Who else you got in tier 2?
You know, we missed, I'm not sure if this guy's tier 1 or tier 2. Buffalo,
Tre'Davious White. Ooh, that's a good one. I think Tre'Davious White is tier 1.
I do too.
I think he is certifiably tier 1. He's just one of those guys that doesn't get any love for what they do. But again, like the same thing you were talking about with Jaire and Denzel, I think he's a little older than them, but he can follow.
Right. He does it differently. He does it differently than the rest of them. That's why I think it's not as flashy, but he actually can play the position. You know what I mean?
He has to. He's not he's not a freak as the other one. So yeah. Oh man, he said, what tier does Old Man Gilmore?
When he's healthy, he can.
Look, man, I'm not gonna trade. Look, I'm not gonna waste. What I'm not gonna do is disrespect that dude. So he ain't like
stars next to him.
Yeah,
Stars
I'm
next.
not even putting Star next to him because he's not Sherm old to where it fell off. So I'm not gonna do that to him. Now, when he does, we're gonna slide him immediately, expeditiously.
Might go to 3. Might go 1 to 3.
Man, skip 2 straight to 3. If you come out here, you out here looking like Patrick Peterson, we dropping you to 3. Not gonna waste any time. All right.
I'm shocked that he lasted so long in free agency this year. Like, and he didn't make a ton. He didn't get a ton of money. Because who can't use, like, there's all these teams claiming win now.
Mm-hmm.
Why wouldn't you grab him? And I mean, I'm not even saying Dallas, but anybody, you put him on top of your fake number 1, or you put him as your number 2. Like, it changes everything. And what did he get? 2 years, $15 million or something? Like, he didn't make a ton of money.
No, but again, he's on the coach chilling, which I think is a great look for them.
Right.
Go get you a CB1 and don't look back. Right. All right. So I kind of like our group. Who else we got out here?
Surtain.
Oh boy, yeah. Where you want to put that youngster at? I know where I'm putting him, but where you want to put him at?
You know what? It's crazy because I want to put him in 3, but it's just hard to put him in 3 when I think he's better than Diggs. But not better. I mean, it's different type of player. But he's
that's cool. You said what you said. That's cool. I was putting him in. I put him where he needed to go. It's fine. How much does scheme play? It's a great question. Steve Nelson had a great year in Bergen, underwhelming in Philly. Yeah, I think Steve Nelson is one of the poster childs for round 3, for tier 3. Like that's the type to me. That's tier 3 where it's scheme dependent, and if everything's right, there's good production there. Like they do have value, but it's heavily, like you said, Sid, it's heavily scheme dependent. It's another good one. Where y'all putting Bradbury at?
I think Bradbury didn't have a great year last year, but he's had some good years. Like the last couple of years, and he's one of them guys, which is weirdly, you'll see him matched up on number 1s every week. He was at Carolina. He was giving those guys battles too.
You throwing him in 2 or you throwing him in 3?
I'm gonna put him in 3, just coming off a down year and not knowing where he is. I mean, he's not that guy. He walks in anywhere and he's cool.
Yeah, no. I think that's another one of those classic examples of scheme fit and what's around him and whatnot. But the good thing with him, he's near the top of that tier because he has been a guy that they've put on 1s, and you're there to handle that, and you have. So I can't really knock him for it. Right?
What's interesting, like you were saying about Steven Nelson, like with Pittsburgh, was like you see the difference with Witherspoon with Pittsburgh.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking at their team, like I really think that they view him as almost a 1. And they brought him in Levi Wallace. Like you're looking at it as like 2 random guys, but they're just 2 really solid players that if the system's right and you let them do what they do, they're you have 2 really who could look like good corners.
Okay, so like you see, I put him in 3, right? They're in both of those guys are 3s with 2 talent. That's the thing with those guys. Both Levi and Spoon.
I think Spoon has more talent than Wallace, but Wallace is like more
technical. Technical. Yep. And that's what I'm saying. Like they complement each other well, but they both like them being a tier 3 is an indictment on their talent. It's just what they've done so far, and that's pretty much what it is.
Right.
But they're both good. Like they're both capable starters.
Yeah, I think Ward, Davis Ward, tier 2.
Oh yeah, see that's one where you probably not gonna like my answer.
You got him in tier 1.
Yes, and I had him there before he ended up on my team.
I don't know. I think the tier 1 guys are a different level. I think he might be a 1/2, but I just think with the guys down there, like I could see him becoming a Humphrey or on his way to that.
See, I don't
think he's a 1 yet.
Okay, no, that's fair. And I'll just say why I had him as a 1. Because what were you talking about? Just like Humph has to move around and you're responsible for doing what you had to do. The dude that murdered Humph in cold blood, he didn't get murdered like that. And he's been out there on the island when there is nothing around him, just dying out there by himself and kind of learning as he goes. And I think the only thing that he's missing is just experience. But he's done a lot of it. But you play on a team that's known for their offense. And I think it's one of the things, if he took the ball away more, he'd be higher, more highly touted or lauded for his contributions. But again, on a team that quote unquote doesn't have a defense, he's literally responsible week after week. That's you. There's no one to save you over there at all. No disrespect to Honey Badger or anything like that. It's similar, and I'm gonna say this slow because I know you understand what I'm saying. He's not Jalen Ramsey, but he has to be that for that trash defense.
I see that. Yeah.
So that's why I have him in one, because the responsibility he was given off the early without any of the other stuff these other folks came with is the only reason I have him in one. And the fact that you held up. But if you got him in two, I'm not mad at you. I'm not mad at you at all. Like I said, that's the only reason I have it.
I'm saying if you put him against those top three in tier 2, and tell me how you separate them.
You said, okay, so like with the top 3 in tier 2, I think the only one that might, I mean, honestly, like Slay a couple years ago, definitively better than him, it would be in tier 1. Right. So, right. I think that's fair. Right. So Slay right now versus that young freak in nature with the long arms and everything else just doesn't get interceptions. I'm riding with him. And again, I love Marlon Humphrey. You know I like Marlon Humphrey. I have nothing against Marlon Humphrey.
There's holes in Marlon Humphrey. Yeah.
Right. And none of them are perfect. And I'm not saying Charvarius Ward is perfect at all. I'm just saying him and Humph, Humph and Byron. Well, not even Byron because you got Xavier opposite you. But him and Humph have had the responsibility for taking care of the same type of players at times. And, one of them's done it a little bit better with less help. And I do think Humph is amazing. But, again, you out, bro, there's ain't no Marcus Peters around you.
Right.
You got Dan Sorensen behind you.
Right.
Hey, here's Jamar Chase. We going to give you safety help? No. Just that's you by yourself, buddy. Here's Devontae Adams, which we've seen multiple people not be able to do anything with Devontae. Dudes held him 2 catches, 17 yards, some crap like that. And again, somebody, if Humph did that, we're talking about it. If Denzel Ward did that, we're talking about it. He does it and it's like, So that's the only reason I'm riding with him, because to me, the production is tier 1 in terms of limiting people. It's just not the big plays. And that's where everybody...
More so the production. Sorry to cut you off again.
Go ahead.
More so than the production, honestly, is like the way a team uses the player tells you the value of them. So, like, while we don't see, or, saying the everyday fan doesn't see, if they see that contract and they're like, man, this guy, they paid this guy that much money. What's wrong with San Francisco or whatever? Whereas, like, teams that watch them, like, if you're studying Jamar Chase, you're studying, receiver, whatever receiver, and you notice this guy's always on him, and with Kansas City's defense, and they were doing a lot of blitzing and a lot of different things. You're going to see some highs and you're going to see some misses too, because the pressure they're putting them under. Like you said, the usage of them is similar to that of Diggs, or similar to that of Ramsey and the top corner. So I get that part of it. And again, he obviously has some losses, as they all do, but I mean, I get that part of it. So I think just the way Kansas City used them kind of tells you what they thought of them. And I think that is a plus for him.
Yeah, that's my only argument, is just obviously you are not Jalen Ramsey, but if you have to be Jalen Ramsey for your team, and you're not out there getting murdered in cold blood, I'm gonna put some respect on your name. It's
right. I don't know if you've seen. I saw a Jalen Ramsey interview. It was pretty funny. He said, well, if Jalen Ramsey's not on the market, then I'm Jalen Ramsey, and you're Jalen Ramsey. You know what I'm saying? He's like, when he was talking about J.C. Jackson taking less money, he's like, if teams say you're not Jalen Ramsey, he's like, well, you can't have Jalen Ramsey, so I'm Jalen Ramsey, you. or and then the next guy. So it makes sense that, like you said, the same thing with a guy like him is, I'm your Jalen Ramsey, and I think that's how he should be viewed.
Yeah. So again, like I'm cool if you put him tier 1 or tier 2. It is what it is. I put the little asterisks up there, but that was my case for one. And of course, he got a chance to go out here this year and just throw it all the way, and we got to bump him to tier 3 or something, which I don't expect because, again, he held up for a trash defensive unit. So,
but he won't have that. I won't say excuse, but he won't have any of that other stuff. He won't have lack of talent around him. Answers.
No. And I think that's the thing that'll be interesting to me because even with Jalen, bless his heart, he's amazing. Bro, you got a whole Aaron Donald up front. Don't tell me it doesn't impact your life and how things go. Just not being rude. It's kind of it's just something that he's on your team. It is what it is. All right, Sid had one. Oh, boy, this be fun one. I didn't watch a lot of Panthers football last year. How did J.C. Horn do?
He got hurt early in the year. He was solid. Same concerns, same questions we had. He's physical, grabby, but he's playing pretty well. And he got hurt early in the season and was out for the year. I think that's why they made the Gilmore trade, actually.
Yep. I put him with his peers. Again, I'm not ranking him. I put him with his peers. And if this could be tier 2, I'm not gonna get mad at somebody else for being a little grabby or whatever. But he was solid before he got hurt, and that's what I can't refute. He was solid before he got hurt. Had he not getting hurt, like you said, they probably don't go after Gilmore.
Right.
I mean, maybe they still do, but it wouldn't have been as much of a sense of urgency to do it.
Right.
So they got immediate returns on that pick though. Like they found out quick that he was fine at this level.
Right. To hold up, yeah.
Which is usually all you want to know that early, right? So, all right, what else we got?
I got a 2-3.
Yeah, let's go. What you got?
I think Peters is a 2-3, and I'm a fan. I'm a big fan of Peters. But
hey, look, if we could put Diggs in tier 2, I'm not putting Peters lower than him.
He loses more than I like, though.
Okay, but again, that's all I'm saying. I agree with you. However,
but you know how think about Asante Samuel, right? There was a time where the good outweighed the bad so much that you're like, you know what, he's gonna jump around occasionally, but you know what? But then it came down to the end where someone can become I don't want to make this sound disrespectful, like a caricature of themselves, where it's like, all this dude does is sit around, like, you know what I mean? Like, I think, I don't know, it's just questions with him, I was high on one of the guys that I'm like proud that I like Peters.
But see, this is the thing though, right? That both of you guys are bringing up. With players like that, it comes to that point at times. Does it outweigh the fact that when you don't make that play, bro, what are you doing?
But like the game plan is, at some point today we're gonna get Peters with a double. Like that's what I think. I don't think as much as we knock Diggs, I don't think it's just double moves with Diggs.
No, it's not.
You know what I mean? I think there's once a game where a team has schemed up this play where Marcus Peters is going to be sitting on it. Mm. But again, he makes – okay, I guess I'm arguing for him to be a 2 almost, where it's like there's times where he makes plays that he's not supposed to make. Like he's not supposed to be there, and he's there. And I think they just decided, because Humphrey is the opposite of that, that we're going to live with it. You know what I mean? That we're going to live with him doing what he does. So I can't argue.
But you want to know what? And that's another guy where if he gets a hand on it, he keeps it.
Oh, yeah.
It's another one of those. So, again, if we're going to throw younger him in there,
right,
you got to keep you got to keep the older, got to be consistent, right? Got to keep the older version in there too. For good, for bad or worse. I mean, for good or worse, for better or worse, rather. It is what it is. And again, like he's been consistently him. So I can't knock him for he's consistently who he is. So I can't knock him for that. You got any names you think we've missed? Any big names? I got one for you. Where would you put Dante Jackson, man?
He's hit or miss too, but he's one of the guys that has the talent. You'll see him. He's a matchup guy. Certain players he looks legit, and certain players he looks lost. So I think you got to put him in 3, but he's different than those other 3s.
Yep. All right, let me see. All right.
What about I haven't seen much of him last year. Is William Jackson.
You said William Jackson?
Yeah, I didn't watch much of him last year.
All right, so yeah, for me that's a 3.
I know he's paid like a 1 or
He's supposed to be their 1, but he's a 3. He's another one of them dudes with athletically everything is great, but just need to be consistent, brother. That's all.
yeah. I had a guy. You know, a sneaky 2-3 guy for me. Maybe put him in 3 for now. Is let's see, is Warrior from Detroit. I think
That's a 2 for me.
yeah, he's legit, man. I think he's gonna get even better.
I'm gonna mess up his name though.
And again, he's one of them guys that catches the ball. No, I think it's ORU.
Yeah, I'm gonna mess up his name. Detroit.
He's a Pro Bowl. If he makes the Pro Bowl this year, you'll get it ready.
Yeah, then I'll make sure I know how to spell it by heart. Adoree Jackson asked.
You know what's funny? I think Dante Jackson is Adoree Jackson. You know what I mean? A healthy Adoree Jackson.
Yep.
Because you'll see Adoree Jackson, that guy. You put certain people, he's always good. He can run with anybody. Like he's just there's something missing. But he has something that other guys don't have, but he's something that's not there that is always gonna stop him from being tier 1 guy or higher than he should be, as his athleticism says he should be. I had a guy.
Would you put Desmond King in tier 2?
Desmond King? No.
Tier 3?
I don't even know what he does. What does he play?
He's a slot.
I don't know. It's tough.
He's one of the better slots in the league. You put him in tier 2 or?
I wouldn't put him in 2, maybe 3, maybe.
All right. Got another one for you.
I think number 3 is going to get really big soon.
No, it's about to. Jeff Okudah?
Not yet. He's coming. He's coming. He's been struggling.
He's in tier 4 that I'm not typing up. So he's trying to work his way into 3.
I'm telling you, next year, him and the Detroit corner.
Hold on. I got him. I got his name. Gonna get it right. Yes, sir. Let's go. Gonna take this off. It's not gonna say Detroit anymore.
Okuda's coming, man. Okuda's coming. And not just because I had him as like the best player in the draft a couple years ago.
There we go.
And that's looking like an L.
There we go. Yep. Got him.
Copy paste.
Yes, of course. Cannot go wrong. Looking at this list I got here, and it was just sitting right there in my face. I was like, yes, I got one.
Where's Asante Samuel go? 3?
Ooh, Samuel Jr. Yeah.
I don't think he's there. Yet. I think a lot of times with some of these guys is we like them, so we only see the good. And if you go back and look, you'll see there's a lot more L's than they want to show you. You know?
No, he's definitely a 3. He's with the rest. Like he's literally the embodiment of Wallace, Spoon, Jackson, all the Jacksons. You know, where it's just you see the physically. Oh, we know what it is. Just put it together, please, consistently. We're waiting. Like you see some stuff, and it's like, can y'all put it together and take the jump? But it's all agreed that they have legit talent. It's just put it together, please. Put it together.
Right. Agree. What about Tampa Bay corners? Carlton Davis.
Carlton Davis is a 3 to me. So.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely 3. If not low.
And who's the other corner in Tampa?
They all got the high off of that Super Bowl year, or because of his dominance of Michael Thomas.
Oh, come on, Sid. Don't stress people out like that, sir. But you know what, Sid? I'll say this. There's going to be days between now and the start of the season when we got nothing to talk about. You know, here you go, Sid. I appreciate for the default content. Appreciate you.
Right.
Eric Stokes, Green Bay. Wait, Eric Stokes and DJ Reed. Where you putting them?
Stokes is three or four for me. Three, I guess. I mean, who even knows if he starts this year with they paid Rasul Douglas to come back and Jaire, but
Where's Rasul Butler then? Ask you that question.
well, he's a knockoff Douglas. He's the knockoff version of that other group. Great hands.
Mm-hmm.
And fortunately for him, they didn't put him in those missed positions.
I'm gonna leave Stokes in that place. You left one of the other young boys. Just he's near Akuda, just working his way. Because you're playing opposite. You're playing opposite Jaire. And again, Douglas is what we took away last year. Was the best thing over there, and once Jaire went down. So yeah. You said Joe Hayden. I'm gonna probably leave the old head in 3. I'm not,
He's still in the league.
Yeah, he was out there in Pittsburgh clamping.
I thought they let him walk.
Nah, I mean I think they let him walk this offseason, but last year he was out there clamping. I'm gonna leave Hayden there.
Yeah, he definitely know how to survive on a 4-6. He figured it out.
Boy.
Or 7.
Man. Oh yeah, DJ Reed. Where you putting DJ Reed?
I think I'm gonna put him in a 3. I think he's a 3. I just think the versatility, all that he brings, but then there's like size limitations and like he's not special in any way.
Okay. Let me see. Oh yeah, we said both Tampa Bay corners were going in 3. So
who's the other corner?
Jamal Dean. Yeah.
I don't know. Dean's a 3.
You think he might be one of them dudes in that other tier? All right.
Yeah,
and
we'll revisit this next year, 3.
Yeah, them now shall not be named. Yeah, that's fair.
Uzier.
Yeah. Where do you have a Uzier at? You put him in 3?
I'm gonna put him in 3 just because it's not fair to him, but they don't ask him to do much.
Okay.
I think he's just dominant. He's really good at what they allowed him to do. Because at Dallas, he was a borderline bust, but they brought him in and let him play, his game.
Okay, can live with that. What else we got out here?
Stingley too. Go.
Oh boy, you said Stingley?
Nah, he's not.
I'm about to say, don't play with me. I'm throwing him in 1 right now and walking away.
We'll revisit.
Play with me. Hey, look, you can revisit it, man. In my eyes, all he can do is go down. I ain't got time for none of that.
Man, nope. I'm with you. Nope. Yeah, you're right.
Hey, look, I stand on it. I do not care. Nope, I don't care.
Nice putting him as 1.
Man, I'm not gonna be nice. He's better than some of them dudes we named. So, I want to hear about it. No, I ain't gonna name no names, But within that first 4 names we named, yeah. Like the very first 4 that we named.
Yeah, I'm with you on that.
Some of y'all can make some room. Some of y'all ain't where he at right now, but it's cool.
True, that's true.
Some of y'all not gonna get there, but it's cool. Sid said AJ Boye.
He was good a few years ago. He's not the same AJ.
I'm gonna give him the Joe Hayden love where he's not completely dead.
Honorable mention.
I mean, he's not food. Yeah, he's not food, so he could be tier 3. It's just the upside isn't there anymore because you're older, but
Right.
Christian Fulton, is he getting mentioned or you leaving him out of here as a whole?
I like Christian Fulton too.
Yep.
I could put him in 3.
Okay. That one I do agree with. And then we got to wait to see if his partner gets healthy and where we can put him at. Yeah, there's a bunch of other people. Oh, okay. I got one for you. Where are you putting my man Byron Murphy Jr.? Yeah. Where are you putting Byron Murphy Jr.? How about that one?
I think because of what they ask him to do, I think he's a 2. I don't think he could live outside.
Mm-hmm.
I think he might be their obviously beside Baker, he's one of their best defenders. And I think you got to put him as a 2. I think so.
And you want to know the reason I put him at the 2 is literally what you said when I was making my case for Charvarius. What they asked him to do, and he's not just surviving doing it. You know what I'm saying? He's doing it. Ideally, you don't want him to live out there, but he's doing it, and he's not fooled.
Right? I agree.
Yeah, he's exceeding at something he shouldn't be exceeding at.
Correct. He takes the ball away. Also.
Sid said, "Where's your GOAT, Malcolm Butler?"
I mean, I don't even think he's gonna make the team. So I don't. I don't know. I don't know. I wouldn't put him anywhere. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not gonna say the name. I don't. Yeah, I don't really.
I think that's all I really got. I'm trying to think of Casey Hayward. What would you do with Casey Hayward? Oh, wrong thing. My bad. Sorry about that. Yeah, Casey Hayward. I think I'm going tier 2 for Casey. He's still solid. Still consistently solid. All right. Oh, Justin's back. Okay. Yeah, No, you're good. I was gonna ask you about Casey Hayward, but I think what I chose to do was I put him in tier 2.
Put him with the overachieving old head, like the.
Yeah, that's not dead yet. He's still productive.
Every year you're surprised he still got it. Yeah.
Yeah. Like you're waiting for him to be like, oh, you're still good? Oh man, okay, my bad.
Right.
Sorry, Casey.
Right.
Respect.
But if you ask him to do too much, you'll regret it.
And at that point, that's on you, not him. So.
Right. Exactly. Yeah, true. Like, yo, I didn't tell you to put me in man. Yeah, that's your problem.
Man, you know what I do.
Right.
You called it. You changed the scheme up. My man's like, that's a bold strategy. I'm gonna do what you said, coach. But that's bold.
yeah, you can run it, but not held accountable for anything that goes wrong after this. That happens after this.
I wouldn't advise you to put Casey in that situation, but hey, I'm just Casey.
Right.
What do
give me my third? Give me my third and leave me alone. Put me in my third and leave me alone.
Man, let me read. Just let me read, coach. Yeah. You got any other names that come to mind?
Let me think. Let's see. The Rams. What about the Seattle corners?
I think the best one is the young one. I think he's a year away. So.
Okay, not Flowers.
Nah, Brown.
The young kid. Okay,
yeah, the young kid. I think. Not yet. Who's another? I think about my man Emmanuel Mosley. I had him in tier 3. I can't put him in 2.
You know what's funny with them guys, man?
But
no, I won't put them in 2. But those guys have all been forced to be ones at times when they shouldn't have been, and held their own.
Yep, and held up, and that's the weird part about it. But again, it's the consistency thing. Like I low-key want to put him in 2, but I don't think it's been enough consistently because he'd be injured sometimes. So I don't think it's right to do that. I think 2 should be reserved for the
right.
If you're not going to be consistent from a cover standpoint, take the ball away type thing. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's where 2 is.
Yeah.
But,
yep.
And I think again, like You know.
I think Tyson Campbell's going to be a 3 at some point. Not yet, but I think he's on his way to being a 3.
Yeah, I think he's on that way too.
Or he's
And
on his way
again,
to
those
being more than that. But I think.
yeah, but I think that's the thing. Like you can win with a room full of threes if you got the right threes. You can win with a room full of them, but that means you got to be A+ somewhere else on the defense.
You know what? The threes are right. But threes a weird one because threes such a various skills. Like you can be terrible at 2 threes, and you can be dominant, really good with 2 threes. But
you can have a top 5
3.
Yeah. No, but that's the thing. Like you said, you can't pair any of the 3. They have to fit. Otherwise, you're in trouble.
Right. Exactly.
You can't take any. You can't just be like eeny, meeny, miny, mo. You better get 3 that fit and complement each other and with the scheme, etc. You know what I'm saying? But yeah.
Right. Most of the 1s and 2s you can plug in and you're okay.
Yep.
But the 3s are various. And again, if you look at some of them guys have been cut, traded, not re-signed. So it's a lot. It's really fit based.
I don't think that's bad, man. I don't think that's bad at all. And it's something we can add on too. But that's what we did today. Sid, appreciate your help. I'll be back tomorrow morning. I think Eastern Conference Finals kicks off tonight, so we talking some hoops tomorrow morning. Let's see what else we got football wise. Let me take my notes off y'all's screen so y'all don't have to look at it anymore. But I'll save this note right here to just have it as we add to it. And one day we'll add, there won't be a tier 4. The tier 4 is just going to be the field. We're not doing that. It's going to be the field. Your goal is to enter tier 3.
Some of the 3s might move to 4 if we really break it down further.
Yeah, and then I think that's the thing. Then I think it's doing a little bit too much.
Maybe we'll get on that one.
But you want to know what I think it is the thing where it's like you mentioned. I think when we push some of the 3s down, it's because some of those young pups earned it. The guys we said we're waiting on. Yeah.
Right. Agreed.
Then you're knocking off 3s proudly. You know what I'm saying? Proudly, or depending on where they are. You knocking 2s down to 3s, and 3s got to go to 4s, or 3s just expands one of the 2. But I'm happy with tier 1 and 2, honestly.
Right.
I feel.
Yeah, me too. I agree on that. And I think there are a few of the younger guys that could be 2s, on their way.
Yeah. No, there's several of them. It's just consistently, like we just need to see it, and then we know for sure.
Right.
Once we see it's a different story. But I want to thank y'all for tuning in this morning, man. We appreciate it. We'll see you bright and early tomorrow morning. You guys know what it is. We start between 9:30 and or 10 a.m. Eastern. Again, playoff basketball back again tonight, and we'll be talking about game 1 of these conference finals tomorrow morning, right here on Mornings with the Focus.